Pat family by demand.
He came to heal the broken hearted.
Raw, uncut, uncensored.
Y'all call it cheating.
What you call it?
This man
Made a
said we
mistake.
call it cheating. Most people can't even be honest in their relationship, and I don't even know how you call that a relationship if you can't tell the darn truth.
Good evening, Faith family. This is your boy, Jota J. Man, we are excited to be here with you, KJLH 102.3 FM. Man, I'm in here with the crew, working it out. What's going on, y'all?
Hello, somebody. This is Bishop Williams saying, what a blessed day this is today.
Look, this is Lady J, and I'm just trying to figure out what state or city KD is from.
What it do? What it do? This your boy KD. You know what? Bring it to y'all kind of ways.
This man is sitting next to me. Y'all pray for this show today. We've never been this close together in church, in a radio studio, at a dinner, at the altar when he got saved.
Them hands on me. Yeah.
He need to go back in the water.
What's going on, Doc?
Listen, man, we so excited tonight. I got a little bit of jet lag going on, y'all. My ears are muffled, but I got it now. I had to work with a little sound on it real quick to get myself together. But I'm thankful to God, man, that the Lord bless us here safely. We are here on the West Coast, man. I want to send big shout outs here to Facebook Live, man. Listen, if you listen to this by way of radio, what's up? If you're online, what's up? But make sure you go to our Facebook page, follow us literally live. So not only can you hear, but you can see what's going on, man. We got this amazing crew that's in here by DW Production, man, that's making us TV worthy, getting us ready, man, because we're going all around the world. We're saving marriages, man, and helping relationships and really being honest with you, keeping it uncensored. So tune into your boy. Like I said earlier, man, call your pastor, tell him, listen, I went to church today, but get up, get online, watch your boy, because we got something to talk about tonight that's going to be hot, y'all. And I'm telling you, so, man, call all your Christian friends and call the ones that done backslid a little bit and tell them it's going to be all right. Tune in right now. The hot topic of the night, y'all, it's going to be hot. Call in at 310-520-5554 because we want to hear what you have to say about it. This is a platform, man, that we're giving you literally a voice. It matters what you have to say. And so
Absolutely.
I'm rolling with my girl, let's be clear, Lady J, of course. Got the bishop in the house that's going to give us our spiritual equation and formula so we can make it in heaven, y'all. And then, y'all, we got the man on the streets keeping it down, keeping the voice right, hoping he don't end us up in hell. Lord have mercy. Of course, KD.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Lord have mercy.
As long as I got y'all on my team, we
Look,
going to hell.
we not going to hell. Let's be clear.
Oh, dear Lord. Y'all, the top of the night, man, that came on our heart, y'all, is it's a hot one. It's a tight one, though. It's too saved to leave, too hurt to try. Too saved to leave, too hurt to try. Let me throw it out here this way. So many times, so many marriages have just exploded and went in a negative direction. And the question of it is was those individuals supposed to be together in the first place? However, at the end of the day, there's so many people that even now under the sound of my voice that is together, but they're not together. And what I'm saying by that
Absolutely.
is you're doing the time like almost like you're sentenced. You're sentenced by the
Wow.
fact that you're hiding behind your religion, that you're too saved to let it go, but you're not healthy enough to fix it if you're going to stay.
Well, I have a question I want to ask you on that. And the question is this. If I am not saved and I marry someone and then I get saved, my question to you is this. Am I stuck in that religion? In that relationship?
This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say we get ready to go to commercial break. When we come back from commercial, Doc, you need to be, you in the streets. Oh, you and KD need to be ready to bring it all kind of ways. We'll be right back. We're going to commercial.
So you have the answer for me, Doc. I want an answer to that. If I'm not saved, I get married. Now I get saved, and I'm not happy in this relationship.
Don't nobody be looking for a way out.
Let me tell you something. Well, it's funny, Bishop, because we're going to take it to the street, but at the end of the day, you use the word called stuck. The last time I checked, man, and to be honest with you, I don't know if you'll make it through a relationship if you just operating your feelings alone. You know what I mean? Because what I'm learning is the filtering factor, whether you're in the right relationship or not is not defined by how you feel. You know what I'm saying? So understanding the terminology and the term of the circumstances of how you ended up in the relationship. But at the end of the day, if they walked in my office, I can't do nothing about where you've been. But we're gonna deal with the reality of where you are. And so
That's
what's
good.
in front of me
Now
is that
that's
you
good.
are married, that you
Absolutely.
are saved. And so let's really, how do we move forward?
You've answered. We'll
You know
talk
what I'm
later.
saying?
That's good.
KD, what's
yes,
up,
sir.
man?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, Doc? Bishop?
What's up in the
Lady
streets,
J?
baby? All over the ATL. We missed you last week,
Oh,
brother.
man, I miss you guys
You know what I
too,
mean?
man. I'm
You're
glad
looking
to be in the
good.
building tonight. Yeah, what's up, Facebook fam? Y'all see me? I'm here now. Hey, but Doc,
Yes,
this
sir.
topic here, man, was deep.
All right.
It's deep. This what it was.
Too saved to leave, too hurt
saved
to
leave,
try.
and too hurt to
Absolutely, to try.
to try or to stay.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this here. This is one of my pet peeves. This topic here about, especially the too saved to leave. You know, because a lot of Christian folks, man, is too saved. Period. Not only just to leave, but they too saved to go to the movies. They too saved to walk by a liquor store. They just too saved. I was at the job, man, talking to one of the brothers. He's a saved brother, right? And I was like, "Hey, bro, hey, you saw the game last night?" He said, "Nah, bro, but I talked to God last night." I said, that's the same type of brother, man. Them the type of people that go to the store, buy a vacuum cleaner, and rebuke it because it's a red devil.
But you are
They
crazy.
too,
You know
they
something
too
wrong with you.
saved. But on a serious note, though, I was talking to this young lady.
Yeah.
This weekend, actually, and she said, I asked her the question that was the topic. Are you too saved to leave or too hurt to stay? And she said, I'm not too saved to leave or too saved to do something to him. I'm like, oh, that caught me off guard. You know, I mean, I'm in the street, but I call her. She was my hood. She was a hood first lady.
What's hood?
She was. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
She's a hood first lady because she said, let me tell you why I say that. She said because she's married to a pastor, right?
Yeah.
She's married to a pastor, and she said he is trying to make me do something to him, spiritually and worldly. I said, well, what you mean by that? She said, because every time, we going through something about 3 or 5 years, and I want a divorce. And I told him I want to get a divorce. And every time I ask him or say I'm going to get a divorce, he throw up a scripture to me. He always said, 1 Corinthians 7:39 says, a woman is bound to her husband as long as he lives. I was like, uh-oh. Then she say, but if her husband dies, she is free to marry anyone she wishes.
Oh, Jesus.
But dog, that's why I call her hood first lady, because she trying to use the scripture to do something to this man. But my second question after that, I ain't know what to say, boss. I ain't know what to say, so I just went to our next question. I said, hey, well then you saying you too hurt to stay, right? I say, so you rather do something to him than to try to work it out? She said, I'm broken. I've been doing this 3 to 5 years. In a relationship are like glass. Sometimes it's better to leave them broken than hurt yourself trying to put it back together.
I hear you.
Doc,
Oh, Lord.
only thing I can
Lord.
tell, I said, you know what you need to do? Tune in on Sunday nights and listen
All
to
day
Dr.
long.
Jenny Counselor. I got 3 people going to help you out on this here, Doc. Hey, I'm telling you, boy, this your boy KD. I'm telling you not what I know. I'm just telling you what I heard straight from the streets, baby. Talk to him, Doc.
Listen, Facebook Live, pray for the boy. Hey,
Please
y'all,
pray for
KJLH
him.
listeners, man, all around the world, man. If you're online or here in LA, y'all, he gonna get there one day.
So this
You
is
know what
my
I'm saying?
challenge. 310-520-5554. Has anybody out there felt like that you want to leave, but you feel like you would be embarrassed to deal with it? And Bishop, let's talk about this. In the church, we have a perception that we give off to people. What we project to people. We don't want to. We like our family to look together when we get to church and we walk in and we're holding hands. But there are people who are in the church, but they don't sleep together. People in the church, but they don't talk to each other. The only time that they are together is once they get out of the car to walk in the church. But nothing about their life is peaceful or exciting.
Well, I think one of the things of it is, and when I want to bring the light, and that's why I'm so excited about this discussion, because it's something that is resonating all around this world, and it comes in our office quite often. Sometimes people are really shocked that this issue is not just dealing with newly married people.
Absolutely.
People be wondering why somebody's married 20, 30 years and all of a sudden the marriage is destroyed and they end up in divorce, and people are like, what happened to them? Or I can't believe this or that. But oftentimes people are remaining in a marriage dissatisfied in some things that we're going to discuss up until the point that they can no longer take it, until the point that it just crumble, and all of a sudden this marriage falls apart, and everybody on the outside that don't know any of those truths is like, but y'all look good together, y'all was great together.
Absolutely.
You know, but people are staying together under false pretense. You know, one of the things that I want to share tonight, man, is don't you think for a second, listeners, all around this world, that God is turning a blind eye to your behavior inside of your marriage. You know what I mean? It's one thing, and because the preachers, we are standing at the pinnacle of that pulpit, marrying people, giving out death certificates, because you knew that these individuals was not prepared for this union. However, you handed the certificate anyway. Now that they are together, left dealing with each other, they are in a relationship, and so many destructive things are happening. And then the people are under the auspice of thinking and believing that, man, I end up in hell if I let it go wrong.
Absolutely.
God won't be happy with me. So they in a marriage under fear. It's borderline prison or what have you.
Jesus.
During the time. During the time. But it's funny because, you know, the Bible did say that, you know, it's better to marry than burn. That's what they throw up on you, right?
Yes.
But what if you get in a marriage and on one end, okay, you're married so you won't burn, but you treat each other ungodly and end up burning anyway? I'm challenging you tonight. Your marriage matters. And I know you're saying, Dr. J, you know what? I wish I would have heard you a long time ago, but guess what? You're already in it. I know you are. But let me set the record straight. That is not no excuse for the excuses you're making. Your marriage matters. How you're treating each other can end you up in a place you don't want to go.
Doc, I hear you saying that a person is too saved to leave, but too hurt to try. And we're going to have to go to the phone line. But what that looks like is at the end of the day, somebody is so hurt, but there's no movement. They're not doing anything. They stuck like Chuck, as the world would say. They just stuck. They're not trying. They're not trying to make it better. They're not seeking any help. That's an unhealthy place. We've got to go to the line. Caller, you are on live with Dr. J, the counselor. We want to know what your question or comment is. You got 15 seconds. Caller, you're live. Can you hear us? You're on live with Dr. J, the counselor. Caller, are you there? Look, she'll have to call back in. But we are on target, guys, because we have to be real and we have to be relevant and we have to speak to the truth. How many people, and Doc, you're a pastor, Bishop, you're a pastor, how many people genuinely, in all confidentiality, there are people that you know come in, and are you appalled sometimes when you say, I know you're unhappy, but on Sunday you muster up something to act like everything is all gravy, but I know what you're struggling and going through.
You know, I personally have struggled with what Doc said, and it's really true, and that is this. I have counseled people that I would advise them not to get married. I've actually said, I don't think the two of you are ready for marriage. And they got married anyway. Now, I don't choose who marry who. That's not my choice.
Right.
But I should give them the truth and the advice. And so Doc is right. There are ministers just giving out certificates knowing that the two are not qualified or prepared for that relationship. But the answer to your question is this, and this is where my heart is. My heart is this, that when anyone receives counsel before they get married, the person that is giving the counsel is responsible for that relationship. So
Absolutely.
That's my heart.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know, and I guess that's what my biggest problem is. Isn't it interesting that that people have been found pressuring individuals into a relationship? I mean, just co-signing it. And when the relationship gets in trouble, folks ain't nowhere to be found.
Y'all hear that Facebook Live?
Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found.
Look, every follower out
But
there.
I'm going to tell you something, because
absolutely.
we on sensitive tonight. So KJLH, get ready for this, man. Strap your seatbelt. Facebook Live listeners, strap your seatbelt, because we're going to keep it 100 right now.
All right.
Is not only is this for civilians, but I want to talk to some preachers that's in the house of God.
Come on.
That you're holding your ordination paper, sir, and ma'am, that you got it. You so deep and prophetic and got all that stuff. A public success, but you privately failing. You probably felt it. Because the truth of the matter is, we come up and we worship and we do this and that and shout the house down and you tell them to touch the neighbors and turn around 300 times and you don't even know how to talk to your wife. You don't know how to talk to your husband. She don't like you. You don't like her. You're not living the truth. You're not living transparent. Yet you're talking about the good book every Sunday. You are a liar. And let me tell you this right here. There is a place for you if you don't change. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough, because the truth of the matter is, it's always interesting to me that the people who have so much to say is not always healthy themselves.
Absolutely.
That's the reality of it is.
my.
And that's probably why you don't see fruit in the relationships that you keep dealing with. If you really want to know, make you a little list. And make a lost column and a win column and go down the list of people that you have brought unions together and see where they are today. But the real question is this, and this is where it gets uncensored. What's going on in your house? Preacher man, what's going on in your house? You know what I'm saying? What's going on in your house, our prophetess? You know what I mean? Can you prophesy and still go love your husband?
Come on, now.
Lord have mercy.
Or do the title go home as well, y'all? We got to get ready to go to break.
Lord, 310-520-5554. I can feel them cringing, riding down the street, sitting in their house, saying, Lord, have mercy. It's time for us to go to break.
Absolutely, man. We getting ready for our Let's Be Clear moment, y'all. That's where we do all the clean sweeping in the house, because that's the moment for the ladies. They got a whole lot to say, man. So guess what? I'm ready for what Lady J got popping for us, man. So guess what? Hold on tight. 102.3 FM, man. 310-520-5554. We got some announcements and promotions tonight, but it is our Let's Be Clear moment. So let's go.
Look, ladies, it is our Let's Be Clear moment to all of my sisters. I'm squaring up with you on tonight. The Bible talks about not being a silly woman. And so I'm going to help you to overcome a silly spirit, which means that it's silly for us to think that the best thing that we can do for a man is sleep with him. It's silly for us to think that the best thing that we can do is cook for a man. It's silly for us to think that that's going to keep our relationship together. The best thing that you could do is be a builder of your man. So I'm challenging every woman tonight. This is my Let's Be Clear moment. Don't be silly. You people are all over the world, and we think that if we drop it like it's hot, Doc said earlier, because it is hot. But if we do things that are carnal or natural, that we're going to overcome and have this fabulous relationship. A marriage and a relationship takes more than food and a meal, which I know they love, and it takes more than sex. You have to be able to be a total woman to be able to minister to your man. That's our Let's Be Clear moment. What you got to say, Dr. J?
I think you're absolutely right. But what I love about it, at least let that be in your sermon equation. We love the food and we love the sex, so go ahead and just add that to it too. I'm just saying, it helps.
Doc, I just got a text that said, no, y'all be silly. That's what I'm just saying. Not me, because I'm taken. Hey, Sylvia, love you, baby. So,
you're right, Lady J.
310-520-5554. Call in if you say, I'm going through in my relationship and I want to talk about it. I want to drop in. Look, they say a plug. Everybody knows that Dr. J is doing the Maui trip. And so tonight, we want to remind everybody, Dr. J is going to sponsor. If you want to go with us to Maui from September the 27th through October the 2nd, we're going to be laying on a beach with some coconut. Ain't that right, Bishop?
Absolutely.
Look, Dr. J is going to be feeding you, look, your soul and your marriage and your relationship. But we want to invite you to come out, all jokes aside. We're going to have entrepreneurs, business people. We're going to have all kind of organizations that's coming out. If you want to take a moment to revive yourself, he is sponsoring you, meaning that you only have to pay $1,000 to go, and you can be there for 6 days and 5 nights. I think that that's amazing, and I've heard so much about
man.
that.
And not only is for entrepreneurs, but it's even for your relationship, man, to get away and to really have some real dialogue and enjoy yourself. But even as entrepreneurs, it's an entrepreneur phenomenon, man. So it's going to be hot. I mean, we are going to be around the elite where you can get some brand assistance and some real knowledge that you can bring back with you and take your business to the next level and take your individual life to the next level. So it's important, man. We're going to talk about relationships, but a lot of things that break up relationships is people's financial and economical status and the things that's happening in that. You want change in your life, man? Come come fly with some eagles, man, so you can get in the air, all right? So make sure, go to my website, drjthecounselor.com. There's information there. We've worked hard to get that sponsorship, man, so that we can take you there with us at a reasonable price. You can't beat that, you know what I mean? Most people never go to Maui in their life. You can go. So let's get it. Stop making the excuses. You've taken off work before. Stop playing. Don't lose the job, though, but come on.
I am blessed, and I want to just say this. I want to speak up for all the great marriages out there. I have a great marriage, and I thank God for my wife, Pastor Valerie. And so I'm speaking up for great marriages because there's a lot of great marriages in the church. Yes, we have problems. Yes, there are issues. Yes, there are concerns. Yes, there are homongers, all of that, but that's what the church is for. The church is designed so that the people who have these issues got a place to go to get help. That's why Dr. J is talking to us now, because there are people that need help, and they can only get it from a godly man and a godly woman. So I'm saying, yes, there are great marriages. Pastor Valerie, I love you, and I'm telling you, God has been good to us. So all you pastors, remember, I'm here for you also. We have great marriages in our life.
Well, you know what?
Look,
let's be clear. Look, that was a shout out. But you know what? I thank God for our marriage. But you know what? It became and is what we have today. And I'm saying this to everybody all over the world because we were honest. I tell the story all over the world that Doc called me into his office one day and say, "Look here, I don't need you to bring your Bible to bed. I need you to bring your body. I don't need you. I don't need you quote those scriptures." He did say that to me, and I sucked it up and went in my room and cried, and then I went to Victoria's Secret because at the end of the day, I had to decide if I was going to give to him what it was that he needed and not be so holy that I was no earthly good to my husband.
And then, because this is what I want to set the record straight, don't get it twisted. I'm a praying man. Every brother, listen, ain't struggling with that. I have a prayer life, I fast, and things of that nature. But when it came to some humane things, you still fasting and we ain't connecting. I tell you what, every individual that's in that situation right now, hit your boy up on Facebook because I'm telling you something. Keep playing with your marriage.
Amen.
I will have you, because at the end of the day, you have wisdom and you have common sense. I will have you, and you cannot keep treating an individual like that. Can I be real with y'all?
Come on.
Let's go.
Okay, because this is the thing. This is kind of raw, though. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna have to believe it, but it's kind of raw. It's because it doesn't make no sense. Now, I want to speak up for the fellas right now, all right? Now, first of all, let me say this right here. We rocking our hats, y'all, so I don't want y'all to think we crazy. KJLH family that's listening, man, if you're on live stream, you'll see we rocking our hats, right? We rocking our hats because people are incognito in their relationship. They hiding stuff. They ain't transparent. They're undercover with it, all right? So we got our covers on tonight, and some of us even got our blockers on. But at the end of the day, what really get me, and for the men, but I'm gonna be honest with you, women too, but I'm gonna speak for the men. Facebook Live, make sure you get the fellas in here. We got all our hats on. And I want you to capture them because I want the real response. I want everybody to see this, and y'all tell me this ain't allowed, okay? The truth of it is that I've seen brothers, and I'm talking about good man. I ain't talking about men that just want to be trifling, okay? From Duval, I'm just playing.
Watch out there now.
but a genuine man that's trying to keep it together. One of the concerns, I believe, as pastors, things of that nature, is that you're trying to keep people out of sin. They're living a sinful life or whatever. So a lot of brothers is, if they're not ending up being with different women or things of that nature, then the question of it is coming to play about masturbation or things of that nature, which is a whole nother note.
Yes, it is.
Now, my thing is this. How in the world am I going to fight and press my way to grow spiritually and cut all these things loose so that I finally find someone to connect to, and I'm now in my marriage? And you mean to tell me I'm masturbating more in my marriage than I am when I was single?
Devil is a lie.
You mean to tell me I'm struggling with my intimacy in my mind, and I'm more, I don't know if I can say the horny word. Can I say the horny word?
Yes, you can.
Okay, beat that out. I'm horny, ain't nothing popping off, and I'm married. But when I was single, I could have did something about it. But the only thing was, it would have got me in trouble with God. Like, let me say, it's not fair how we're treating each other
It's so
in the marriage.
uncensored in here.
You know what I mean? I'm more enslaved in bondage being married than I am when I was free. Because at least I knew if I was by myself, I see my struggle coming.
All right.
But when you connect with somebody, let me say this way, in my marriage, there's just some things I ain't worried about.
All right now.
There's just
all right.
some things I can say this right here to you. Let me tell you, I love this one because let me tell you this right here. Come hell or high water, there's just some things that the devil ain't gonna play with us with.
Come on.
Doc, you
Come
sound
on.
like
Baby,
my
that ain't
house.
gonna be one. That ain't happening.
You sound like
that
my
ain't gonna
house.
happen. Let me tell you something. We'll miss word church, usher meeting, choir
Bishop,
meeting.
don't you second this.
Because let me tell you something. Ain't happening, Captain. There ain't no way I'm gonna be in my marriage struggling. Ain't happening. I'm sorry.
I love it, Doc.
We got to go to the callers. We have got to.
Hey, let's get
We
line
have got
3
to
up,
line
y'all.
3, and we could go to line 3. Caller, you are on live with Dr. J, the counselor. You got 15 seconds. What's your question or comment?
You got Wilson Davis out here in Signal Hill, California. I got a couple comments. My uncle and my auntie just been in a marriage for 50 years. We had a great celebration in Carson Civic Center last night. And what I want to basically say, that's the greatest thing in the world. It could really happen to a couple who graduated out of Southern University. And we just so blessed. And I want to basically speak to all the young men and the young people out there. Just keep Christ in your life, be honest, and everything will be great in your life, into your marriage.
That's amazing.
That's
you know
hot.
what?
That's
That is hot. See, we have to learn how to celebrate
Wisdom.
and be honest.
Wisdom.
Celebrate and be honest. Celebrate and be honest. Doc, one is I'm glad that we'll miss Bible study. Look, you hear that, Dr. H? Look, and Bishop Williams. But
I'm
at the
call
end
him. He missed Bible study. Don't call him.
But you know what? I thank God because let me be clear. This man is so uncensored. He said, now you bought that CD, TD Jakes. What was that? Secret Love Songs or Sacred Love Songs back in the day. He said, now you ain't going to sit there and play that CD to get me. And look, talking about you are my ministry and baby, drop your stuff at the door. And now we married and you down at the church every time I'm looking for you. So, but I appreciate that truth because I was able to look at myself.
But I'm gonna tell you something, and Bishop, I'm gonna throw this at you when it comes to your session. But I want you to put it on your radar. Sometimes people are stuck in this, and this is for my ladies here. Well, sometimes women are in one place in their lives, right? And because they usually mature, certainly more spiritually quicker than men. So they're in one place in life, and then they connect with a type of a man, and then what happens at some point they just spurt spiritually into a place of purpose, and maybe God has called you down to the ministry or whatever it is that now you're hitting this pinnacle. However, the man you connected with, you didn't meet them in that premise of time.
Absolutely.
Which means that he's not properly equipped to even cover you because of who you're becoming. And now you're frustrated because the truth of it is the man you met was not the man that was purposely needed for where you are now.
Absolutely.
And where you going. What in the world do you do when you in a dilemma that I've signed the papers and I'm with somebody that was just a Mr. Right Now?
Lord have mercy. Back in the day, they said Mr. Do Right. Lord Jesus. Doc, we have a call from an amazing group on line 2 that was part of our time with your Celebrity Black Book on last week. We want to give some love and some shout out to Last Call. If we could get them on line 2.
Let's call. You are on the air with Dr. J and his wonderful team. My friends, how are you?
Hello, this is Deacon Gandy.
Deacon Gandy, how you done took Last Call?
You're not Last Call.
You are absolutely not Last Call. Deacon Gandy, what's on your mind?
I just want to say, see, I have a great relationship, but the mothers have to let these young men be men and stop pacifying these men and let them grow up and be men. Because if a man can't teach a man nothing, then he's sitting in the house playing PlayStation and not taking care of business. You know, and I love my wife. I appreciate my wife. And when we do what we do, we do what we do. And it's all from God.
Amen.
I like me over there, though.
Don't bring the Bible to bill.
I love it, Deacon. Man, let me tell you
I love
something.
you.
That's my
I
man.
love my bishop because my bishop has a great relationship with Pastor Valerie, and I'm working on being that man of God. And you know, I have flaws still, but God is still working with me.
Look, well, we're glad that he's
That's
still
hot.
working with you. It is hot, and I'm glad that everybody knows. Every woman, leave your Bible in the living room, in the study.
Y'all,
It's that time,
I want to
your black
open up a
book.
phone book, man. I got an amazing guy I want to introduce y'all to today, man. That's doing an amazing work for the kingdom of God, man. But this is what I love about it. He's so strategic in what he's doing. What I love about it is that you can do many faceted of things and carry God with you.
Amen.
That's what I'm excited about. So this guy that I'm introducing today, y'all, is second to none. I pray all the listeners, man, you tune in, hear this hot topic, and hear this amazing gentleman I'm getting ready to introduce. Facebook Live, you tune in, call somebody, man, let them know we got a treat for you coming. We're going to go to commercial, but when we return, we got our guest, man, that we're going to open this black book. KJLH 102.3, Facebook family. And of course, this Dr. J family, y'all. I got an amazing gentleman on the line on line one. Y'all, I want to introduce you to a guy, the man, Doug Jackson. I believe he's in Tallahassee right now, y'all, but he traveled a whole lot. Doug, what's going on, man?
Dr. J, what's going on, my brother? How are you?
What's up, baby? Doug, have you been hearing this topic?
What you say?
Have you been hearing the topic we've been talking about?
Sir, listen, I was all in, man. Listen, everything that you guys was hitting on, man, I loved it. My wife and I, we were married, engaged coaches at our church, and everything that you talked about, man, you were just hitting it on the nail. So you were on it.
Well, Doug, you know what? Let me do this proper, y'all. Let me tell you something. He's so humble. His humility, I just love, and that's why it's just God sent. Because, with his resume, his profile, he could be arrogant. He could be many of things. And when I tell you, he is absolutely the coolest, and he is on a mission and assignment, man. We gonna go down the line and lay these accolades out, brother, because you ain't got to say nothing. Let me tell you something. This man has been with the best of the best, producing, man, different artists, and then he's also producing and being responsible for the booking for Ty Tribbett and so many others, y'all. Y'all see this guy style?
Absolutely. In fact, I was just wondering, he got a couple of events happening, one in Philly. Tell us about Philly first.
Yes, sir. Well, this particular event is called Global. Global was something inspired by God. It was supposed to be only a concert series. And what God had mentioned to me, he said, man, listen, this is something that's needed. It's something to teach the Levites about him and then give them instructions to go into the world. But it has to be globally. You got to do this more than once. And so it was just supposed to be a stop with New York. And from there, we went from New York to New Orleans. And now we're heading to Philly. And so we're excited about it, man. We're excited about what God is getting ready to do and the plans that he has for his artists going into the world to speak about him.
Doug, one of the questions I have, and I want to, as we continue to lay out this information, man, is just unpackage it for me, because I know there is a mission and a reason behind what you're doing. So can you just tell us and tell the people, why are you doing this, man? Because there's so many other things that you could be doing with your time and you're gifted and anointing and all that stuff, and you're taking the time to work with artists and people who want to be in the industry. Where did this come from?
Well, it all started, man, one day, and this is a funny story, man, when I was coming up, I wrote music, and I wanted to get my song out, and I felt like the only way that I can get my song out is if I could start a group. And the bad part about it was I couldn't sing, but the group could. So I had about 5 people, and I'm directing, really looking real stupid out there. And I realized every time I reached out to someone, there was no help. There was no education. So I had to go to school to get education about business and different things like that. And I realized people such as myself, they wasn't getting the education and the information to go to the next level. And so my thought was, hey, why don't you put something together where you bring them in, so they can see exactly what they need to do to go to their next level or to get the things that they need. And so that was where it all came about.
Yeah, also, Doug, I see that you're working on a large project in L.A. and around September.
The West Coast.
Yes, sir. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. I'm going into the West Coast. I was invited, man. I'm humbled, and it was an honor, but I was invited to a few platforms. So it was the West Coast Cities Gospel Industry Conference and the Urban Network Digital, the Business of Music Conference. And so I'm able on September 13th to the 15th to sit on a panel with some of the greatest in the music industry, and we're just going to be able to talk and kind of share some nuggets to the artists that are coming and to the people around us so that they can be equipped for the future.
That's amazing. As we get ready to wrap up, I had the pleasure, you and I kind of hung out in conversation yesterday, and I just want you to know it was a blessing to encounter you. I'm looking forward to us connecting on many levels. We support what it is that you're doing all over the world.
Well, one of the things that, man, I want to leave with, because, I mean, he is so right. You know what I'm saying? People that's getting into the industry, I mean, people are gifted and talented, and then, you know, it's so much to know and to do, and he has the key to those things. So, Doug, one of the questions I have for you, man, because you're even doing an event, I think, here in LA that's opening up to that for new artists or people that are wanting to get in the industry or is in it but are struggling, what have you. How do they connect with you? How can they follow with you? How can they get the help that they need?
Well, I mean, I think one of the things is to be able to read and actually go online. You know, when I was coming up, they didn't have Google. They didn't have a lot of these things. And I think a lot of times research and dialogue, and when you don't know, there's someone that you can reach out to. You know, I have a cousin that writes for days, and when it comes down to a point where I'm a little clueless on some of the writing part, you know, I reach out, and I tell most artists it's okay not to know. Ask so that you can be equipped so that you can go forward, because you're going forward without knowing, then you're really bumping your head and walking around in circles. So
well, you know what? I think that's key to, you know what? He just said a mouthful.
Absolutely.
Because you have to be vulnerable. You can't do anything by yourself. If you want to get in contact with him, go to our Facebook page. You'll see what it is he's doing. Go to Dr. J, the counselor. We are excited about what it is that we are doing. I absolutely am excited about where we're headed.
Absolutely. I want to be saying big shout outs, man, to Doug, man. Doug, thank you so much for taking the time, man, to call in, to share your heart. One of the things that I want to leave with, Doug, before you get off the call, my friend, is this is Relationship Uncensored. Tell me how being in the industry and being around, just give a 15-second to the brothers and to the sisters. How do you keep it right? How do you stay focused on your trade and what you're doing and focus, man, and not get caught up in unhealthy relationships? So just keeping your focus on what you're doing.
Absolutely. One of the things that I do is I stay in my lane. I stay focused, and I put into my mind that this is a job, and the job is not me. And it allows me to have humility and to stay humble so that I can process the things that I'm doing and not have a swelled head, but also see what God is doing so that I can be fruitful to his people.
That's good stuff.
Look, it's Doug Jackson,
Doug,
y'all.
We love you. We send love. Doc, I want to just get everybody excited, everybody listening. On September the 8th, the KJLH men are doing empowerment. And so Dr. J, the counselor, will be on that platform, and he will be doing what's called the locker room. Can you imagine? Look, Katie, can you imagine Doc in the locker room? Doc is going to be on the platform. They're going to have Charlie Wilson, all the KJLH men. Everybody all over Los Angeles is going to be there, and none other than your boy, Dr. J, the counselor, is going to be on that roster. We are excited. What happened to you?
I'm not gonna be there. Hold on, Doc. What happened?
Bishop,
we'll get you in, man.
Bishop, we ain't got no contract.
We're gonna Uber you in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But please be clear. Go to KGLH 102.3. If you go to their website, you can get all the information. Dr. J is on the front page. You can click on his link and learn all about it.
I promise you this, fellas, and I want to call out all men. Listen, if you want something that's second to none, you want to do something, man, that you never done before. We done heard it all, but you want to do something to say, listen, man, bring it to me another way. The locker room gonna be hard, because one of the things I learned, and I want to bring up before we get ready to go to commercial, is, I love this one movie that came out called The War Room. Absolutely. I got me one, a prayer room, man. Everybody, usually got you one. But I'm going to tell you something, Bishop. I'm going to tell you something, Lady KD and the Facebook family and KJLH family, man. Before I had a war room, I went in a couple locker rooms. And we're going to talk about it, because I'm going to tell you something, brothers. There's some stuff in your locker that we need to clear out.
Look, before we do this, I'm going to dive in. We have a call that's been holding. Can we take the call and then we'll go to commercial? Caller, you are on live with Dr. J, the counselor. What is your question or comment? You got 15 seconds.
Okay, my question is, does God have every man and every woman to be married?
Bishop, you want to throw at that one?
I sure do.
There it is.
Okay. The Bible only tells us this. The Bible says this: whom God joined together, let no man put asunder. Now, when it comes to God joining together, it is when you stand before the man of God in your church and he speak the word of God over you and you become one. That's when God joined you together. Other than that, God don't pick nobody for you. You pick who you want. Now, in the Bible, somebody may say, but wait a minute, God chose some marriages in the Bible. That is absolutely true. But the key factor that you have to look at is this. God forewarned them and let them know it was going to happen. When Abraham had a baby at an old age, God told him it was going to happen, so it happened. So I'm just saying to you, can God choose a mate for you? Absolutely possible. All things are possible with God. But did God choose the person you with? You have to answer that one, because whom God joined together, you ain't got to worry. There will be no separation.
Let's be clear. Look, thank you, caller. We've got to go to commercial and we'll be right back. We're on live with the Bishop. Bishop, they had a question for you.
Yes.
Now, Bishop, man, that thing came off of social media, man. Now, that was a Twitter, man, I got about 2 days ago. I mean, I'm being blown up. Our social media is being crazy. Brian on line number 4, man, hold on in there, baby. We're going to get you, all right? Because these lines are tied up, but we're going to get you in. But it's been blown up. People got all kind of questions. Mm-hmm. And so we were sitting back in the back, man, and I threw this question at you in regards to a lady asked that if, in fact, that she married. You remember what it was, Lady J?
Mm-hmm. Yes. The bottom line is this. The question is, if she married someone and they cheated on her and they were abusive and she divorced that person, would she be able to remarry again?
Well,
and more so immediately.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't say immediately, because everyone need to heal. Everybody need to heal. You have to go through a healing process. And the doctor can't heal you and medicine can't heal you. Only God in time can heal. Now, God can do it also in a miracle, but the point being is that you need time to heal. Can you be remarried? Let's look at it correctly. There is only 2 purposes for divorce. One is fornication and adultery, and the other is death. Now, I understand if he's cheating, you don't have to be with him. And if he's abusive, get out of the house. Simple and plain. There's no question about it. But as far as remarriage, why would you remarry someone immediately that you haven't had time to learn? You have to learn people. You have to spend some time with them. You have to respect them. You have to know them. So my advice would be, don't grab someone because you have a sexual drive. Grab someone because you have put God first. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will be added to you.
I'm loving it, man.
That is amazing. On that note, somebody got something to say, Bishop.
Let's get them 2 callers in. Let's get line 4, and then we're going to line 1.
Caller, you're on live with Dr. J, the counselor. What's your question or comment? You got 15 seconds.
Well, my comment is, right now I'm a man who want to be in a marriage. I've been married before. That woman asked me to marry her, and even though I wasn't ready for marriage at that time, it was one of the told myself that if I get married, I would always stay married, because I knew at that age, at the age of 21, that marriage is not just something you just go into. It's a spiritual thing. Once God approved that marriage, you become one person. You're not separate anymore. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't be honest with themselves. A lot of people don't be, and the other person has to be honest. They have to know. Because when that woman asked me to marry her, I asked her, are you sure this is what you want? Now, let me tell you what happened real quick. We got married. I was dedicated to that marriage. Some things happened. It could have happened to her. I would have been there for her, because that's the kind of person that I raised myself to be. And even though I wasn't spiritually inclined like that at the time, those was one of the things that I was spiritually inclined about. And I knew I only wanted to do it once. So I asked her, are you sure this is what you want to do? Because the people that I was around, they were married forever. And even if they had problems, they worked it out. So my thing was, that woman asked for a divorce. And when we went to divorce court, you know what I told the judge? The judge said, she asked for a divorce, and I told the judge, he said, well, do you agree with this? And I told him, no, I'm not getting no divorce. And he said, well, I'm going to grant her divorce anyway. I said, well, that's between you and God. I did what I was supposed to do.
But you know what? I love that.
That's high.
Oh my God,
That's
Jesus.
good.
I love that. Look, but you know what? That's different because for a man to stand up and say, look here, don't play no games with me. If you really want to be with me, we rolling this thing out until death do us apart.
Brian, make sure you hit us up on social media, man. We
Yes.
want to hear more of that, man. Hit us up on Facebook Live. Man, leave your information, your comments, because we want to follow up on that, man. We want to talk more about that. As well as I want to put a question out there, man, so that we won't discuss tonight, but I want people to hit us up on Facebook and let us know your thoughts in the comments is, how do you feel about a woman asking a man to marry? I know this is 2018, you know what I mean? So we really want to hear from everybody. You know, what's your thoughts? If there's no right or wrong answer, we just want to hear from your heart. You have that platform, man, and we're going to give that feedback next week. So how do you feel about that, man? When a woman get on them knees, what's up? Or is it time for them brothers to keep doing what they're doing? Can we go to that next call and clear that line?
Caller, we got somebody all the way from Hollywood. Caller, you are on live with Dr. J, the counselor. What's your question and comment? You got 15 seconds.
Hello. I just want to say that once you marry and you get a divorce, you're not supposed to marry until that person is dead, because that person is still alive. The Bible says that person's still alive. You are not supposed to get a divorce from that person. When you get a divorce, you're not supposed to marry, until that person is dead. That's the only time you can remarry.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something, man. You know, I'm excited about it because I'm going to tell you, I'm the advocate. I'm like this right here. I created this platform because guess what? Hey, everybody got a voice, baby. I hear, there's a lot of people feel that way. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, let me tell you something that's real funny. We're going to move real quick, y'all. It'd be so funny that throughout the years, you watch people, man, and someone end up losing their spouse. Mm-hmm. And prior to them losing their spouse, man, they be looking damper and down. And then a couple months after the spouse is gone, they look like they just came from the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? I said, my God, I didn't even know you was that cute. Like you just came alive. I said, are people waiting for us to die?
This is a preacher.
I'm just saying. Y'all know I'm not lying. Be honest. There's folks right now that's doing the time saying, boy, you wait. I tell you what, I love you. Go in your room.
Mo, I can assure you I'm ready to go to commercial. I assure you we will be right back as we get ready to wrap up.
I love it. Good evening, Faith family. This is your boy, Dr. J, KJLH 102.3, man. Well, just want to share my relationship uncensored. So I want to tell you just a brief little story real quick, only take about 1 minute. There was a gentleman, man, that was sentenced overseas for about 25 years. For 25 years, his responsibility in the prisons is that they locked his hands in the wall and he was responsible for turning the wheel. For 25 years, this man was faithful, never broke down, that he turned this wheel every day for 8 hours out of a day, never crumbling with the hope that one day he'll be free. He turned that wheel faithfully every day, 25 years straight. His wife was waiting on him, and she promised him that in 25 years, I'll be there. And sure enough, the 25th year came, and the sentence was over. His last day, he went in and did his 8 hours, and he turned that wheel, and they said to him, you are free to go. His wife awaited him at the door, and he had freedom waiting, and instead of him getting his stuff and leaving, he said, I must go around the wall to see what this wheel is turning. He got around the wall and saw that the wheel is absolutely connected to nothing. And he fell out and he died. He died because there was no purpose to the wheel. My relationship uncensored tonight is to deal with what's the difference between suffering and pain in a relationship. Pain has no purpose. Many of you are going through some things in your life. You have some suffering that's going on. But let me say this to you. If you talk to any mother that's ever bore a child, they will tell you they may have suffered. But as long as there's a purpose, as long as there's an outcome to the birthing process, it is well worth it. But when you are engaging in pain that's insignificant, that serves no purpose, you have to ask yourself, at what point do you say enough is enough?
Dr. J, that is
too saved to leave,
but I'm too hurt to try. We have Tina, who I just got a text in studio, said that she lost the call. She's all the way from New Orleans. We're going to bring her in. Tina, you're on live with Dr. J, the counselor.
15 seconds, my dear. Hit us up.
Yes, my comment is to divide the spirit from the temporary and rise up in the eternal of who you purpose to be. look at the difference in the temporary and the eternity and know who you are created to be. Are you created to be the temporary, the say, or the yea of who Christ has come to enter into eternity and not performing the temporarity of your performance for mankind, but performance to Godkind. He who began a good work in the spirit will complete his good work in the spirit.
Look, preach, Miss Tina. Preach. Look, that's all the way from New Orleans.
New Orleans. Miss Tina, don't be shocked now if you get an invoice in the mail now. 'Cause you need that's some advertisement dollars. You know, if y'all in New Orleans, Tina's preaching somewhere.
Let's be clear. No,
that's real talk.
but she
Absolutely.
said,
That's great.
you know what are you doing? Is it in God?
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you're doing.
Absolutely.
We challenge you. Go out to drjthecounselor.com. Stay abreast of what's going on. Doc, it's that time. Look, we thank God for everybody today. What do you feel that's going to deliver?
I mean, but at the end of the day, man, and we want to go around this panel, man, and definitely want to challenge everybody to go out to Facebook Live. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we're laughing, we playing, we keep it light, is because I think there's been enough tears and sorrow. You know, I be listening to YouTube and people, and we so deep that, man, you know, and people are struggling. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't coming to church, you know what I'm saying? And somebody needs just some straight up uncensored and just be shaken into reality. You're struggling, man. You're in trouble. You're drowning. You're there, but you ain't there. You're hurting. You're going through. You know what I'm saying? You're not living a transparent and truthful life. You know what I mean? Live your truth so that you can heal. And so we want to get that prescription out tonight. So, Bishop, 30 seconds, say something to the people.
I just want to clear up a couple of things. Number one, I want to clear up, this lady said when you're married, you with them until death. Let me share this with you, young lady. And that is this. The Bible, if I murder someone, God will forgive me. If I divorce someone, he won't. You tell me that. Secondly, I want to say to you that God is a good God and he loves all of us. And we all going to make mistakes and make error. So quit using one. Do this. Study to show thyself approved unto God, that a workman need not be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. God bless you and I love you.
That's the Bishop. KD, all the way from Duval, by way of ATL, baby. Say something to them streets.
Man, to them streets, nah. I got a question, but I'm going to ask a question, but I don't need y'all to answer it right now because the fellas, we just wanted to know because we happen to read the Bible in Luke. And Luke 16 said we're going to be held accountable for the rest of our life if we divorce somebody. So verbally it says, anyone who divorces his wife and marries another woman commits adultery. And the man who marries and divorces a woman commits adultery. What's up with that?
The fact that you quoted a scripture.
Yes, sir.
I am excited. You tell me.
Come on, keep working on me.
First of all, do you see he had it written down? The Bible said, hide it in your heart that you may not sin against him. Doc, I've enjoyed this topic. To everybody all over the world, listen to us by way of Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are listening on the radio. I am excited. Be honest. Doc said, walk in your truth. Be honest with yourself. You ain't got to lay there and cry all night long and have no hope and no peace and no joy. Be real with yourself. Be real with who you're with. And more importantly, be real with God.
Yo, this is your boy, Dr. J, man. I want to send big shout outs to all the way Facebook Live by way of Florida, New Orleans, New York, East Coast, West Coast, the Midwest. Thank you for hollering at your boy. I am humbled, man. I promise you I'm going to serve you well and I won't let you down because I love God first. Amen. And I'm committed to him. Dr. H, the Apollos House family. I hear you. Ashley, Sierra, Tootie, Jan, every one of y'all, man. Thank you for loving us like that, man. Thank you for loving the show. That family, church family. Hello. We love y'all, baby. We love y'all, LA. We love this KJLH family. Listen, all I got to say is simply this, man. Cry once, but I ain't crying twice. We got to figure this thing out. Tune in every Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Wherever you are on the East Coast, you can get to your boy. Go to drjthecounselor.com. Grace, love you, man. This wonderful Dr. J team. I couldn't do this without you. And so, God, I'm so grateful to you, man. I promise you, Lord, that you keep giving this platform. I'm going to keep saying the truth. Love you, boy. Love who you with and love your God, man, and live your truth and don't worry about nothing else. Stay focused. We got our blockers on, man. Put your hat on in the morning and let them know, listen, I ain't covering up no more. So I'm going to wear my hat today, my last time, and I've cried my last tear. This is your boy, Dr. J, and God love you real good. Be blessed, be well. Holla.